Hello, welcome back. I am Lady Darcy Darkness, and this is Confessions from the Dark Side. How are you all in this wonderful community? Today, we are still doing our Ember movies, so it's what to expect in November. So let's get a disclaimer out. Can I be trusted? No. Should I be trusted? Definitely no. We are full of so much adult content that some of you may think this is unnecessary, and some of you think this isn't needed. If you're one of those people, then thanks for checking us out. But I'll say this only once. If you can't stand the heat, then get the fuck out of my kitchen. Now, for everyone else who likes what we have here, then regular scheduled programming will continue. Shall we get started? Are we ready? So grab yourself a drink, a snack, let's get comfy to hear about the movies that we all have on our screens. Let me take you on a dark mystery tour of whether we discuss the movies coming out this month and let's discuss the topics. Will this be the start of a new cycle in horror or will this be the calm before the storm, testing the war? Well, let's discuss and break down these movies that will be haunting our screens this November. Let's get ready for the thrills and the chills and the haunting we've all been waiting for. It is Weirdo Central and we are here for each and every tingle, shiver and scream. Are we ready for November? Let's find out what we have in store for it. Are we fucking ready? Let's get into it. Join me, Lady Darcy Darkness. Are you sitting comfortably? Shall we take a dive in? Well, what are we covering today? Well, horror, again, as I said, has a genre that goes through many of what is going to be out in front of what is popular to the genre. We've noticed, and I've spoken about this topic plenty in the podcast, about which topic with the genre will be the next. Hitting that cycle at the exact time is a tricky concept, which we talk about weekly on this podcast. If you miss it, then joke's on you. If you hit it at the right time, you have struck gold. And that's not every genre, it seems. But will this be the case for the Ember month? Will the movies change the cycle, or will they shape the cycle for months to come? No one wants to be the killer of a genre cycle before it's not finished its course. Yet, some movies don't get the appreciation of their time in the spotlight till years later when the cycle is finished and it's evolving into something new. It's striking while the iron is hot and hitting the audience when they are ready for it. Will they have it? Will November be the month? Who the fuck knows? In August, we had psychological, technological horror and the dreaded reboot. In September, we had AI futuristic horror along with some psychological thrillers. And October brought us slasher again. Don't we love a good slasher in October? It is Halloween after all, this spookiest of months, and a psychological horror as well. We had a lot of that too. And remakes, but we can't really anything. Swing a weapon, even of choice, without hitting remakes these days, reboots, reimagine, whatever the fuck Hollywood want to fucking call them these days. But what will November bring us? And more importantly, are we fucking ready for it? We're always fucking ready for it here in Confessions for the Dark Night. Dark, are you? What October movies did we enjoy? As I said before, we've had some hysteria with Terrifier 3. And as I always say to people, if you haven't seen the other two movies, maybe you shouldn't have went to see the third one. I seen the video where it's like the UK audience losing their shit and it's like grown ass adults, not just men, and women going, oh, and clutching their invisible fucking perils. Have you seen the first two? If you did, it shouldn't be a surprise on how art is. I love art. I'm not the only person who loves art. Lots of people do. He literally is a mood channel art at least twice. Maybe just in my head, but still, it still gets channeled, especially when around people who just an eye roll is never enough for them. So having an inner art sometimes helps. The question I ask for you, audience, is: have we had enough animal horror, body horror, supernatural beings and entities, religious horror, true crime, real life horror, based on true events or partial truth? And I say that with air quotations because it's kind of being laughed at on Netflix right now because they said it was based on true events and that's coming to bite them in the arse. Is it really based on true events or are you just saying it? Is it like the Blair Witch where they claimed to be true and it was actually all a farce? What do we have to look forward to? Okay. We have Heretic, which was supposed to be out on the 15th of November, which is the new Hugh Grant movie. I don't remember Hugh Grant being anything like this character that he's portraying in Heretic. When I seen the trailer, I was like, holy shit. I said, what the fuck? I said, did I just see the guy from Four Weddings and a Funeral and the guy who literally has had so much problematic shit in the 90s with his own personal life? Because back then, you had to be problematic to actually get it seemed role if you were portrayed in a certain light in the media. But hey, but I'm looking forward to it. It's actually been brought forward from the 15th of November to the 1st of November, but they're actually got previews in the 31st of October, which is Halloween, of course. And I thought that was awesome. It's kind of like a psychological religious horror from what I took from the trailer, but we will get into that on IMDb in a second. Cellar Door, which again is out in the 1st of November. Black Cabin, the 8th of November, which is out in Shudder. He Never Left was actually out last year, but it's been re-released in the 5th of November, which is Guy Fawkes. on VOD, which is video on demand, and Winemaker is out on the 8th of November. We don't have much else. There's a lot of movies that were re-released from a few years ago. They're getting released on video on demand services. Founder TV being one of them is being pushed right now. Shudder, obviously things like Amazon Prime and Netflix all have movies that they will release round about, I think it's August, September time for like spooky season, and then it starts to change to kind of more Christmassy type things, you know, by the time it gets to like November time. A ton of movies, like I said, are being released that are being listed as new when they are actually old. So journalists of the internet, fucking do your research and actually do your job, because AI could do your job easy enough. Let's see what these movies are, what their plots are, everything that's on IMDb right now, and then we can discuss the topics and reflect on them, because we do reflect on each one if anything is changing or if the cycles are changed. Let's see. We're going to start off with Heretic, and I'm very, very happy about that. The IMDb rating is 7.2 out of 10, which again isn't even out yet, and it's getting that, and it's under horror and thriller, and the poster is Hugh Grant looking like a serial killer, basically, with those glasses on. Those glasses do nothing for people who wear them. All it does is make you look like you're a fucking mentalist. Well, not even a mentalist. You look creepy as fuck when you wear them. We get it. You want to look like Jeffrey Dahmer, but you just are coming across as just strange. And then it's like two wee figures on a wooden floor, and he's like kind of gesturing to them with his finger, nothing else. Two young religious women are drawn into a game of cat and mouse in the house of a strange man. Now, it shows you basically two people. I don't know what religion they are, whether they're maybe Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses, but it's a similar religion that come to your door and knock on it and want to talk about their religion. And even when you talk about your own religion, they don't like it, but they're coming to your door and interrupting you. It's directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, and they also wrote it also. You've got Hugh Grant, Sophie Thatcher, and Chloe in it. There's a lot of stills and things, like I said. There's Topher Grace, he's in it as well. And if you don't remember Topher Grace plays Eric Foreman in that 70s show, who's also in the original Spider-Man. Elle Young, Julie Lynn Moore, Haley Hansen, Ellie McKinnon, Anisha Bailey, Stephanie Levine, Wendy Gorling, Carolyn Adair, and River Coda. There's a couple of people that are in it that don't have pictures, and their name is Miguel Castillo and Hannah Hoffman, and again, they look like they've got minor roles. So it says two young Mormon missionaries are forced to prove their faith when they knock on the wrong door and are greeted by a diabolical Miss Reed, becoming ensnared in his deadly and intense game of cat and mouse. Reference to Radiohead, are you kidding me? Cat and mouse, this is the plot words. Mormon, blueberry pie. Oh my. Reference to Lana Del Rey, reference to the Monopoly game, reference to the Hollies, stabbed in the stomach, human in a cage, magic underwear. How magic is that underwear? Throat slit, stabbed in throat. Okay. It's a 15 apparently, and again the tagline is question everything. The end credits feature the statement no generative AI was used in the making of this film. Just going. Again, it's released on the 1st of November in the United Kingdom, but it's got origins of the United States and Canada. Film location was Squamish, British Canada. Sorry if I have butchered the names of some of the places. My brain sees it as something else. I kept saying that for Sam Hain when it's Soin in the Halloween podcast, but my brain sees it as Sam Hain, and most people call it Sam Hain when it's actually pronounced Soin. There is a review, there really is, so I am going to read the 10 out. I don't really want to read a 10 out of 10. I really don't. It says there's only 6 reviews, but there says there was 500. Who the fuck knows? So this is, I don't want one with a spoiler right now. So let's just go make you think. This smart chamber piece from the dynamic duo Brian Woods and Scott Beck keeps you thinking while delivering pure entertainment. The story unfolds in a way that's both intellectually sharp and visually compelling, a rare mix that constantly kept me intrigued. Hugh Grant absolutely owns the screen, grounding the film as Mr. Reed, a character obsessed with deconstructing the strategy behind religion. Watching his twisted quest is a ride. It's unsettling yet irresistibly fun to watch. At its core, this is a monster movie, but the monster here is something unique. Hugh Grant's Reed himself. Sure, a bit more scale might have been cool, but that would be a different movie altogether for what it is. They nailed it, and I was left fully satisfied. Basically, I got it as like they show up at the guy's door, he invites them in, and he's really nice, but then they try to leave, and the door is like completely deadlocked. That's what it's like in the trailer. And then they have to try and get out of this fucking maze, and he's basically just this guy who lives by himself. And yes, he may be a heretic, but he's literally trying to prove to them that their religion is wrong and what they did was wrong, and they basically trusted a random stranger not to do anything to them. That's pretty much what I seen. It was kind of taking, it was weird because I think everybody's had a Mormon come to their door, and most people just troll them. It's kind of like that, but trolling on roids. I'm actually really, I seen the trailer for this a few months ago, and I'm not a Hugh Grant fan, but he has completely changed his career and changed his like kind of trajectory and the stuff that he actually does. Again, talented actors, talented thespian actors actually have proper talent, can do that with their career if something's not working for them or they don't want to continue being typecasted as this guy, because he kind of was kind of Four Weddings, a Funeral and Notting Hill and all that carry on. I've only watched Four Weddings, a Funeral because it was funny, and again, it was just one of those movies in the 90s that was a would class as a chick flick, but guys could watch it, everybody could watch it, because it was just like, again, it was a comedy and it was very good. But Notting Hill, I wasn't into that kind of thing at all, and he was typecasted as the English kind of, he is an English actor, but he was typecasted as like an English gentleman, but he actually wasn't an English gentleman, the characters they fucking played. So there was that. But he's been in a Guy Ritchie movie, he's been in other movies, and he's shown that he actually is a very talented actor, and he can become anything that he wants. And that's what we want in actors. We don't want these shallow arseholes, these shallow fucks who read a script like an AI. That gets 7.2 out of 10. It doesn't really tell you like what because it's not out yet, so we can't really talk about any of that stuff yet, but it is a 15 and it is out on the 1st. Are you looking forward to Heretic? Let me know in the comments below. Next is The Cellar Door, which is a 15. It's an hour and 37 minutes long. It's a thriller looking for a fresh start after a miscarriage, and again, that's just a dark time right there. A couple find themselves being gifted the house of their dreams. Again, if it's gifted and it's the house of your dreams, there's something too good to be true. They can never open the cellar door. That's the thing. Do not open the cellar door. Whether they can live without knowing triggers shocking consequences. It's directed by Von Steen. Its writers are Sam Scott and Laurie Evans Taylor, and it stars Scott Speedman, Jordana Brewster, and Lawrence Fishburne. Jordana Brewster was, what was she in? I'm sure she was in Chuck, Fast and the Furious and stuff like that, in The Faculty, so she's been in loads of movies actually. I always get her mixed up though, Jordana Brewster with someone else. She has a face that looks similar to other people. There's Chris Connor, Katie O'Grady, Jenny Lamtine, Randy, Sean Showman, Naya, Amilcar, Kels, Zach Feener, Kaya Butt, and again, having names like that. So, what does plot summary basically is taglines are discover what lies behind the. If you were given a house and they told you not to do something, it's the first thing you're going to do. Like I said, it's out in the States in the 1st of November. Again, filming locations were Portland, Oregon. Production companies are Combination Productions, Practical Pictures, and Cosmic Arena Production. Do they have anything? Do they have any words? I usually check that first as well. They don't even have word or anything yet. Wait a minute, if I click on thriller, well, no. But IMDb's genre for thriller is the thriller genre, suspense, tension, and excitement. These stories are known for keeping audiences on the edge, delivering intent by revolving around high-stakes situations, dangerous conflicts, and the constant anticipation of unexpected events. And then it just shows you popular movies that are thriller: Venom, The Last Dance, Smile 2, Alien Romulus, the second Joker film that I don't want to see, Terrifier, and Don't. Yeah, so many movies can be classed as thriller. Cellar Door. Do they have any reviews? They don't. They don't have anything. Oh, sorry. There's 4 critic reviews apparently. Yet we can't fucking see them. 1st November, Cellar Door. Black Cab, the 8th of November. It comes out in Shudder. Black Cab is a horror thriller. It's a couple who find their jovial cab driver diverts them to a remote haunted road, revealing disturbing motives and his true intent. Director is Bruce Goodison and the writer is Virginia Gilbert. It stars Nick Frost, who we know Tingle from the Cornetto trilogy, and he's been in many, many things. A very, very talented actor. He's very funny as well, and he works a lot with Simon Pegg. It stars Zenovi Carlson and Luke Norris. Who else? It's got a small cast. It seems to only have six. There's George Bucari, Tessa Parr, and Tilly Woodworth. So there's six people in this, and basically it sounds like they get in a cab with a driver that obviously has other intentions for him. And it says the tagline is: "A night out goes from bad to worse when a strange couple, Anne and Patrick, are abducted by their cab driver, resulting in a terrifying ordeal." It's kind of giving me Dead End vibe, so it is. If you've ever seen that film, it's just the way the picture. So is there anything? No one has reviewed it or anything. There's no word or there's no parents guide or anything. All it says is that languages in English, origin United States. Film locations were in Manchester, England as well, and there's nothing really else about it. I'm looking forward to seeing that because I do like Nick Frost. He's a very good actor. I really do. He's funny and the stuff he does in horror is very good as well. Black Cab on the 8th of November on Shudder. I'll be looking forward to that because I have Shudder. There's He Never Left, but that was another movie that was out. It says in 2023, but it's been released in the States in the 5th of November in 2024. I don't know if it was released maybe elsewhere in 2023. It says it was released in Canada last year in 2023, but it's actually been released, well, in 2024 in the States. I'm not sure why. Maybe it was at a film festival or something. So it comes under crime, horror, and thriller. It's an hour and 29 minutes long, and there is some reviews on that, so that's great. After hearing disturbing noises from the next motel room, a fugitive on the run and his girlfriend become prey to the notorious brutal pale-faced killer, whose legend has haunted the local community for decades. It's directed and written by James Morris, and there's other writers of Michael Bailiff and Colin Cunningham. Stars Colin Cunningham, Jessica Staples, and James Norris. So basically, the writing and directing has got actors in it too, or they're acting in the movie too. You've got Sean D. Hunter, William McAllister, Jake Waters, Mary Elf Wolf, Alicia Overley Farmer, Tommy Morris, Haley Nebaker, Lily Aranda, Bryce Aitken, Kyle Groves, Jacob Coleman, Casey Foster, and Landon Cass. The story says after some legends refuse to die, there isn't a parent's guide, which is a bit shit. It says James Morris met Colin Cunningham, who plays Gabriel at the Horror Fest film in 2020. Colin then met Jessica, who plays Carly in 2021, and they suggested she auditioned for the film, which she did, and she got the part. So basically, they've made friends along the way. So there's a few articles about it. It says What She Never Left, the trailer, and it's like starts off there is a play. Some legends refuse to die. Like the cover is basically an old mask, like deformed mask actually with a knife, and it's very 80s actually, 70s I would say, closer to late 70s, early 80s type cover. It's black and orange, and it's like a motel, like kind of showing the town in the background and stuff. It's kind of trying to show you like an type of feeling. Let's see. I want to see the user rating. Give a user stop talk. And guess what? They're not even letting you see the user review, even though it's got 18 reviews. It's not letting you see them. That clever. So someone gave it 3 out of 5. It says, again, after hearing the disturbing noises through the thin walls of the rundown hotel room, Gabriel, a federal fugitive with a murder charge, and his girlfriend Carly found himself thrust into a waking nightmare. What begins as an anxious night on the run spirals into terror when they realise the sounds aren't from a TV or argument, but from the notorious pale-faced killer, a merciless figure with a brutal legacy haunting the town. With his cold gaze locked on him, the couple is drawn into a harrowing fight for survival where every step could be their last. As they confront the killer's twisted mind, they discover that Paleface, far worse than any myth, in a town where fear reigns, their only hope is to escape the clutches of a relentless killer who won't rest until blood is spilled. And that's all they've wrote and gave it 3 out of 5. So basically, I feel that the Paleface killer could be a few things. Could be like judge, jury, and executioner, a person who believes that the town is either evil or has a lot of people in it that are evil and that they need to be taken out for the good of the town. Or it could just be a nut job that likes to kill people. But the fact that it's two criminals are running after, it gives me kind of, you shouldn't be here, you need to get dealt the same hand you've actually dealt to the person that you've taken their life. So you get what's coming to you because of the actions. Actions have consequences. There we go. We have the next one. Again, that's on the 5th of November on video on demand. Like I said, it was released in Canada last year and it's out in the States on the 5th of November on video on demand, which means it most likely be out everywhere if it's on video on demand. So the next one is Winemaker, which is out on the Winemaker. It's a horror thriller. Apparently, it's only 59 minutes long. It's a filmmaker documenting various methods of winemaking. Believes he has found the perfect subject when he meets a man anything but conventional ways of crafting the perfect blend. Anything. Okay. So again, horror thriller. It's Emil Strom, and also the direct and writes. Stars Barry Harold, Emil Strom, and Connor Jones. It has 5 people in it. Emmanuel Ronge, Oscar Giddeford, and the other 3 that I taglines. It's all in the blend. It's very interesting that a tiny wee tagline can make you go, what is he putting in? Am I that strange person that's obsessed with knowing what goes in place? Is Dodd what is being used? Is he going full nose to tail or nose to cockpit? Apparently it was released in September. It's showing as it's out in the 8th of November. I think it's on VOD as well. So there is a review. A deadly concoction. Emil Strom's unsettling directorial debut, Winemaker, is a tense and debilitating piece of found footage. Both lead Rome is quite good, but Barry Harold is charming and menacing, which delivers such authentic performances that the awkward social tension remains palpable and suffocating throughout the entire runtime. It's an atmospheric, slow burn that pays off with a great final twist at the end that goes down smooth. Do we want it to go down smooth though? What about some rough? Overall, a really strong thriller from and a great calling card for his future as a filmmaker. Certainly one of the highlights of this year's unnamed footage, and that was by Elytra Collective, and that was on September that they said that the movie was like that. But that's the only review there is about it. Doesn't say much about it. That's the thing. It was country of origin, New Zealand, language England, and English, and it was filmed in Auckland in New Zealand. If it goes from any New Zealand movie, a movie that was made in New Zealand, you've got your Peter Jackson, awesome movies that people always forget. Meet the Feebles, the most fucked up Jim Henson type thing that you could ever imagine. Basically, it's basically for me, it's like the Muppets with a triple X feel, and not the wrestler or an actor apparently is actual adult content triple X. It's very don't watch it too out of it because it will fuck. And then you've got movies like Bad Taste and Brain Dead, which is also called Dead Alive in most places, but in the UK it's called Brain Dead, and The Frighteners. Have you seen any of his early or work? Peter Jackson. It still confuses me that he did Lord of the Rings. And if you want something obscure, watch that. So in November, we seem to be it's thriller. We had our slasher and remake and some body horror. In September, we had body horror as well, and AI futuristic horror and psychological thrillers as well. So it seems to be a thriller sort of Ember. Since September, we've had a lot of plain horror and thriller. Again, a lot of the thrillers have psychological aspects in them for them to become a thriller. That's basically what had. It's been thriller, horror, and that's really it. Yeah, horror and thriller for November. I still think Heretic should come under religious horror as well because it's got a religious aspect. And also, not even fanaticism, but there's some sort of. It could be fanaticism or zealot, even, especially if he's agnostic or an atheist and he's doing this, he's got a fanaticism about how he wants to prove that religion is obviously bullshit or that their religion is bullshit, but he's a zealot to his own cause kind of things. That's how I see it as. He's trying to convince them, like another brainwashing type thing, to show that their religion isn't what it is and all that carry on. So there is a kind of psychological horror, religious horror, aspect and the thriller along with it. So we've got all that to look forward to. There's not much out in November, I've got to say, but I think usually we have a build up to horror and then it kind of tapers off. And you do get a lot of things that were out last year that actually have been re-released in November because of the way it works. It kind of does that with like Christmas movies as well, that they're not released straight away like a normal movie. It comes out the year later. There's a lot available on video on demand services like Shudder and Free, I think it's called. And again, things like Netflix, Amazon Prime, probably Paramount Plus, and I don't know how many other. I don't have Max because you don't get that here. What are you looking forward to seeing? I want to see pretty much everything I listed actually. I don't think are I think is going to be very good. I don't think they're going to be particularly scary. Like I don't think psychological thrillers and stuff are scary. They just make you think about what if. And they also in me they kind of make me think a lot more outside the box type of mind when you're actually watching them. You know, trying to get into the head of the person who wrote it and actually the character as well and how they got to be the way they are. So I'm looking forward to getting my head fucked up by some of these movies. Are you? What is the best movie you've seen, horror movie you've seen this year? Let me know in the comments below and continue to enjoy spooky season because it's 365 days a year over here in Confessions from the Dark Side and me personally. If you like content like this, remember to go check out Confessions from the Dark Side social media platforms that are Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify and Buzzsprout. Let us know what you think on our platforms. Let's get chatting about this topic, all the topics. Let's grow our community and spread how awesome the horror community actually is. If you need to reach out to us at any point, we have some email addresses, Confessions from the Dark Side, all lowercase, at gmail.com. And that was Confessions from the Dark Side presents Ember Movies. What to expect this November. The movies that will be sending us with chills and thrills for the November, for the Ember months. What has been your favourite horror movie this year, and what has been the best horror movie you feel that could sway the tide in the cycle of the horror community and pave the way for 2025? Let me know in the comments below. I am Lady Darcy Darkness. This is Confessions from the Dark Side, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.